Okay, so the reason I am making this video today is because of the video that I made on New Year's Day where I prayed for everyone, for all of us. In that prayer, I taking into account what we've all been through in 2020 and feeling the ramifications that we're going into now in 2021. Unemployment is rising. People are losing their small businesses, and we're feeling the ramifications of 2021. Not to discount the political unrest and the culture issues. And so I was thinking about it though, and I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. So I wanted to make this video for a while since New Year's, but I finally got enough gigabytes for my phone, so I hope that I am able to record this in a expedited amount of time and that this phone doesn't cut off on me, so we'll see. So I've been meaning to do it since New Year's because I was thinking about it, and if you're going through trials and tribulations, and if you are anything like me, when people give you those types of words of encouragement and you're in the middle of a trial or a tribulation, it's not very helpful. It goes in one ear and comes out the other ear. So I was thinking about that, and I don't know what it is. You came across this video, and I don't know what it is that you might be dealing with today or facing down the road, but I've been through a lot, trials and tribulations, and you coming across this video is, I don't know if you watched any of my previous videos, so you might have an idea of this last horrific, the worst trial of my life that has just happened. If you watch any of my previous videos or read the details, you might have an idea, but I don't know what it is you're going through, but I could most likely relate because just to recap, we all have our stories, but to briefly run over mine, absentee dad, very neglectful mom. I love my mom. She has dementia now, so it's very difficult to have a parent with dementia. But she was neglectful growing up. I spent most of my childhood trying to avoid a stepfather for multiple reasons, and then as a teenager, I watched the light of my life, my entire world, get really horrific, suffer tremendously and horribly from a terminal disease and wither before my eyes and just pass away. And then to go into a marriage that was emotionally and verbally abusive, and then eventually led into physically abusive as well, and to go through a really horrible, hostile divorce, and lose custody, full custody of your children, have to go through a restraining order, and have to deal with stalking, and then and then to face betrayal. You're facing, I don't know, you might be facing some type of betrayal, the betrayal of I've dealt with a unfaithful spouse. So I've dealt with an unfaithful spouse as well, and betrayal of people that say that they're going to be there for you, people that profess their undying love for you, that they can imagine living life without you, and they want you in their lives, and they turn around and stab you in the back, and betrayal from a friend, I've been betrayed from a family member. This is all stuff that I have went through. Betrayal from somebody in the church, deacon of a church for over a decade. That's the person, said they couldn't live without me, and couldn't imagine life without me, ended up betraying me horribly and terribly. Betrayal from family members. Disappointed in the church. You go to seek answers, at the church, and they're not there for you. And so these are just, and then ultimately to be dragged away from all my loved ones and put in a place where there is no one my race, no one my ethnicity, no one my culture, living as a shut-in, and a very dangerous place for quite some time. And so as this specifically this last trial that I was in, as it started to happen, and I was seeking answers, and I was, I grew up Catholic, and then when my son went to evangelical school, we really became conservative evangelicals. And so I was searching for answers and in sermons and pastors, but it was fleeting. It was so fleeting. So that's why I said, I don't know if you can relate to what I'm saying, and I don't know if you're an agnostic, crying out for help, or a Christian, or if you're a new Christian, or you've been a Christian for a while. But if you're going through trials and tribulations like I was seeking answers. Like I've been tested, Jesus, I've been tested. I've been through all those things I just mentioned to you. And I haven't always passed the test. I was always, very anxious and fearful. Not ashamed to say that even during the previous trials, I did not know enough of the word to really have a solid faith and a solid trust in Jesus, and especially not God, the Father, as a creator. I didn't know enough about him at the time. And so in this last horrific trial, as I'm going through it, I'm like, Lord Jesus, why is this happening to me? And, I understand I'm being tried and tested. And so I would listen to the sermons, and they would encourage me, but it was fleeting. It wasn't a sustaining hope and encouragement and trust and faith in his plan. So it was very fleeting. As long as the trial and tribulation didn't get better or improve or go away, I fell right back into fear and anxiety and depression. And so finally, in my discussion with Jesus, I said, you ever heard that saying, that to be prepared for the worst but hope for the best? Well, I could never be prepared. I could never be prepared for the worst that could happen. And so in my discussion with Jesus, I would say, I understand you're testing me, but whatever you do, Lord Jesus, do not take it there. Please do not take it there. I cannot deal with that. But guess what? He took it there. He took it to one of the worst possible things could ever happen. And so I was ripped away from everyone that I loved, and it was really horrific. It was like experiencing their death, all of their deaths, all at once. The grief was horrendous. And so shortly after that, after I had to leave my loved ones, and I was had some time to do a little research, and I was doing some research, and when I had found out the extent of the evil that the Lord knew about, he sees all things, he knows all things, and the extent of the evil that he had permitted had floored me. It just floored me. I had resigned at that time after I found out that really three predominant powerful men in positions of authority and power colluded to hurt me to help their good friend, the good friend of one of the men. So when I found out what was done and that God permitted it, I had resigned to the fact that I was deluding myself, and that there could not be a God. There was no way I could not reconcile that there was a God, and he is good, and he knows everything, and he permitted this to happen to me. So I I resigned to the fact. I thought, okay, that's it. I have to pull up my bootstraps. I have to get up every morning. I have to try to keep it together. I have a son. I have to be here for him if he needs me for anything. And I'm in this alone. I'm in this alone. There is no creator. There is no spiritual realm. There is nothing that's going to help me. I'm in this alone. I've got to just get a backbone and get up every morning and face whatever confronts me. And so I had resigned to the fact that there was no God at all. So shortly after, I mean, like within a day or two after, first of all, I didn't have access to internet, so I had to purchase data, and it was expensive. It wasn't cheap. So I had to conserve my data for talking to my son, and also to browse on Facebook to keep aware of what's going on in the world. So I couldn't really stream videos because the videos would really eat up the data. So within a day or two after, I spent all night crying, weeping, and I had to be very quiet about it because the situation that I was in, I had people in rooms on both sides of me, and they could hear everything. So I had to sob secretly, as quietly as possible, all through the night. And then, so within the next day or the following day, when I was going through Facebook, a friend shared a video. And the video wasn't playing, remember, because I had set it up for no videos to play, but it said, "Does God exist?" And it was a cross-examine video, but the title on the video got my attention, so I played the video, and I thought, a bunch of more baloney, so I didn't think anything of it. And then within the next few more days, on how Facebook works, if you view a video, more of those videos will come up in your newsfeed. So a couple more of these videos showed up. So I watched the videos, and Dr. Frank Turek was cross-examined. I had never heard of the word apologist ever before in my life. I'd never heard of an apologist. I had no idea what it was. I was watching his videos, and I really still didn't know what an apologist was. But he was very charismatic and very animated, so it was entertaining. So I watched him, and but he was saying things. He was bringing to my attention. He was defending God, but not like a pastor out of the Bible. And he was telling me, he was teaching things that I had never heard before. So I watched more of his videos. I was very, I was in a lot of pain. I think I was very, a little bit, I think I was just obstinate and a little hostile towards what he was saying. A lot like how I see some atheists will approach him. That was the attitude I was looking at his videos, but what he was saying was really intriguing. And then through him, videos started to show up in my news feed by William Lane Craig. I'd never heard of him before either. And then as I started to look at their videos on YouTube as well when I got a chance. So I found out, what happened is I found out that for about $5 or so, I think it was $5 from what I remember, I can watch unlimited data, unlimited videos from 11 p.m. at night till 5 o'clock in the morning. But I couldn't do it all the time because in the situation that I was in, I had to be up early at the crack of dawn and be ready because I never knew what evil was confronting me. And I can tell you stories, I don't know what, hopefully down the line, but I didn't know what evil. So I had to be up early and ready for that day, for whatever I had to deal with. And so it's not like I could have stayed up all night with unlimited data watching all the videos I wanted and then sleep in the day, because I was sleep deprived as it is, trying to do it a few nights a week just to watch these videos. And I would watch, when I started to watch William Lane Craig and Dr. Frank Turek on YouTube, then videos of John Lennox. And I think that Dr. Turek had mentioned John Lennox too, but John Lennox videos, the similar other apologist videos start to show up in your newsfeed in YouTube. So, and anyway, so those three main people, Dr. Frank Turek, William Lane Craig, and Dr. John Lennox were the ones that I was watching constantly whenever I got a chance, and really I watched the same video multiple times just in case I missed anything. And so after that, I was introduced, Dr. Turek introduces you to Dr. Gary Habermas, the expert on Jesus and the resurrection, which is fascinating. Michael Heiser, who is a specialist and on historian on biblical texts, and he's got several PhDs. And so I watched them, and also some people that I found on my own that were really helpful was Brad Gray with Walking a Text, because he is a scholar on not only the Bible but Hebrew culture, and he explains scripture in the context of the Hebrew culture at that time, which is really fascinating. And then also I discovered on my own Dr. Jason Lux, other scientists, that was a whole world of different information for me other than a pastor just giving a sermon out of the Bible. And so it was Dr. Jason Lyle, Dr. Georgia Purdom, and Dr. Hugh Ross. Some of you may know these people, I don't know, but they're worth the while to look them up. So, however, if you're anything like me and you're going through a tribulation, a really horrific tribulation, and you're anxious and you're scared and you're fearful and you're losing hope, and you see it getting worse and it's not getting better. And I wanted to make this video to help somebody, so you're a little bit more proactive than I knew to be, and also watch the sermons from your favorite pastors. But also seek out these main three apologists. I'm just showing you one beggar showing another beggar where to get the food, the spiritual food. So look them up and listen to their lectures, listen to their debates. And I think it would help you tremendously. Once I listened to them and I really weighed, they just lay out all the evidence before you. And so the evidence that they all present, I weighed it and came to the conclusion, okay, all this evidence really does weigh in the favor of a creator and him being good, and Jesus's life, and Jesus rising from the dead. And that you really can't have evil without good, and to know how to distinguish good from evil, you really do need an objective moral standard, and all the cosmological and theological, I can't say it fast, but all of that evidence that they bring before you. It gave me a firm foundation, a very firm foundation, that I had to accept the fact that, okay, there's a very, very likely chance that, 99% that there is a God and he is good. And then I had to deal with the fact, well, why am I going through what I'm going through? And so he revealed it to me. Once I had that firm foundation, of that unwavering trust and belief and faith and hope, I was encouraged. And then I was able to build upon that firm foundation with the sermons from the pastors. And so I started to pray a lot more, and God spoke. He spoke, he showed me why I was there. He showed me why I was there. He, constantly spoke to me, so through many different means. And I was there. He took me there, not only to get to know him. He went before me, and he showed me why he took me there. And so I was helping multiple people where I was in the position that I was in. And then when I thought, okay, Lord, really, God wanted me to get to know him as creator and as father. I've always been a fan of Jesus, and I always thought that Jesus was the hero of the Bible, but I always saw God as a holy, unapproachable creator who was always disgusted and disappointed with his creation, and really he would have destroyed us all a long time ago if Jesus didn't play the hero and jump in and say, don't destroy them. I'll save them. I'll go and save them. So in my mind growing up, that's how it always was. So one of the reasons that God made it very obvious that he took me in the desert was to show me that he went before me, and that he made a way, and he was providing and protecting, and he was talking to me. And not only that, he was, I was there to help others as well. So I hope this helps you. I would really strongly recommend for you to continue to pray and listen to these lectures and these debates from these three main apologists. And then some, if you feel like, looking into the other scientists and other apologists, and I hope you do so. It really will give you a firm foundation of your faith, and that just the confirmation that there is a creator, and build on that. So we're really, to go back to the prayer, when I said we're not alone, I did not say it lightly. I say it because I gave you a rundown of everything that I've been through, probably everything in this life that somebody could probably go through. Addiction, I've never been addicted to drugs and alcohol, but seriously, we're all addicted to something in our lives. Really, we struggle with something. We maybe have been struggling with something our entire lives, or on and off. So I've never been addicted to drug or alcohols, but I've been addicted to other things in life that would not be good for me in one way or another. And so be encouraged, and know that I speak from experience. I have been to hell and back. So I hope you go look at their videos, and I hope this encourages you. And I am praying for you. I want to lastly say that I am praying for you. Even though we've never met and I don't know you personally, I don't pray every day. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't pray every single day. But when I do pray, I pray for all of those going through turmoil and trials and tribulations. And I know that there's other people out there too that also praying for you. You're not praying alone. There were times when I thought that I was praying alone and I had nobody to help me to pray. So that's not the case. And so if you have any specific prayer needs, please put them in, or any questions, put them in the comment section, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And I'll definitely pray for you. So I hope that's helpful. May God bless you.